AI products, and has mentored a lot of folks, and very happily and kindly does these open sessions, which are free for everyone to join in. So anyone can join it. There is no cost to joining these. And as part of Product Space, we believe that we want to share whatever different things are coming in the market. GPT-5 just got launched, and we are doing this session as well. So stay tuned on our WhatsApp groups. I'll share the link as well, so that you get to know whenever we are doing these sort of new sessions, right? Over to you, Arun.
Hey, thanks, Akshi. And yeah, I'll if you're able to see it. Are you able to see it?
Yes.
Okay. I'll just I was trying this thing today morning. Uh, in fact, I started yesterday. Let's run this code. I was trying to build a GPT-5 agentic game for Mario, and I'll add more levels to it. This is the first level. So I know the Mario doesn't look great at this point, but it can move around. I'm just playing around with my keys here. Um, Oops, it fell down. Let me try again. Again, it fell down. Oh, it got there. Yeah, so you reach the flag. This is uh, built in what 3 minutes, 4 minutes of entire conversation. So we'll walk you through all of this and much more today. Now, when we had planned this session, um, we did not know there are so many good features or things that you need to be aware about before you start using GPT-5. And the idea was to have a 1.5 hour session, but I think we'll do two sessions. One is today, 1.5 hour, and then another one probably 1.5 hour next weekend, where we think we'll confidently be able to cover in as much depth as we can these sessions, right? So with that, let's get started. Um, I'll probably share my entire screen so that I can keep coming back and keep hopping between this. So this is about GPT-5. And if you have not watched the video, the launch video of this, you can watch this introductory video. We'll not spend time here, what they have launched, what they are bringing out. There has also been a lot of memes around GPT-5, and I'll also talk about that, why that's the case. Uh, so you can look at this video, and probably the folks who stay back after the class and fill back the feedback form will also share this deck with you, so that all the 15 test cases that we are talking to you today, you can also try hands-on. First one is prompt optimizer. Now, writing prompts, what is the right format of writing prompts, and how do you go about detailing the prompts out? What is the TCE/PFT framework, CoStar, task context, all of that we cover as part of cohort. We'll not be able to do it today, but GPT-5 with OpenAI Playground has launched the optimizer for um, GPT-5 also. It was for GPT-1, 4.1, GPT-3 already had it. Now it has also launched this for GPT-5. So I'll be using a lot of this optimizer to optimize my prompts, so that I can show you here I can write 1 or 2 line prompts, and then it'll kind of automatically give me the detailed prompt that you can build on top of that, right? So that's the first one. Um, so let's see what prompt optimizer does, and I'll also put this in the chat because a lot of you will find it very, very happy lifesaver when you start using these yourselves, right? So I want to build a Canva based simulator for making a dream IPL Indian Premier League team. I am looking to get a Canva based simulator where I can select players from drop down and modify the playing 11 so that I can get average rating on batting, bowling, and likelihood of this team winning the match or winning the World Cup for both T20 and 50 over. Now, these are sort of experimentations which can fail also, right? So if it fails, it fails. We live with it. But I'm trying to stretch the envelope of GPT-5 here, and we are trying to do something on the class. So I'm just optimizing it. This is the prompt that I've given. You see, I've given it a 4-line prompt. Let's see what prompt it comes back and gives us. And this is me just walking you through how Optimizer works. It kind of knows the best practices of GPT prompting, right? So GPT-5 also has come out with its own guide. I'll show you that in the meanwhile that this optimizes the prompts, right? So if you look at blog
Um,
post that,
Harun, you might have to just zoom in a bit on the slides which have a lot of content.
yeah, I'll do that. As we go through it, I'll just walk you through each one by one. So if you see using ChatGPT or using GPT-5, what are the use cases? How do you do reasoning? How do you create agents? What are the prompting style? And if you see here, there is this prompt optimizer and there is this prompt guide. And what is there for front end prompting? What they're preaching is software for all. So read these things. A lot of content that we have built today is coming from this resource. So I'll also share this in the chat so that you can upskill whenever you have time, right? Let's see if okay. So it has, if you see, it has added 52 lines and it has removed one line prompt that I had given. This is the prompt that it has given me. If you see, create an interactive canvas-based simulator that enables users to build their Indian Premier League cricket team and analyze various performance metrics. This is the role and objective. What is the instruction? Implement a user interface that allows user to select players from a drop-down menu and assemble the playing 11. Again, what are the instructions? Then what is the planning? Begin a concise 3 to 7 bullet list, how you would go about it, and share that list with me so that I know how. So if you see planning, if you are running this as in the agentic mode, what are the 3 to 7 steps that you would follow and how would you go about it? Validation, no duplicate player selection, maximum of 11 players. And these are your standard evals that you would write, right, when you are writing your prompts. And this it has written for you. And then return a JSON format. Output is return a JSON response with this structure, player ID, batting, T20 win likelihood, ODI win likelihood, T20 World Cup. It has defined the object structure for you and made sure that it's not very verbose. And post-action validation. After you have run the results, you have to post if it is running fine or not. Let's just copy this prompt and let's actually, and I'll keep shutting down the windows because it kind of can get very clogged. System can start getting slower. So I'll run one exercise and we'll keep shooting the other one down. So that's, now if you see here, there are a few things. Think longer for a better answer or get a quick answer. If I click of if I click on this get a quick answer, it will give me the instantaneous response. It will not do deep thinking here. Now, those of you who have been following Perplexity, Deep Research, and GPT-4, GPT 4.1, you could select where do you want to do deep thinking versus where do you want it to just give you a response without doing deep research. That has changed with GPT-5. With GPT-5, what's happening is, if you look at this, there is an auto mode, which, and there are only 3 modes. I'll show you one more meme. GPT. Yeah. So this one is very popular, right? You came out with GPT. Let me open this. You came out with GPT-2, GPT-3, GPT 3.5, and then you had all of these O3 Mini, O3 O1 Pro, O4, whatever, and people are like, what the hell is going on? What are you trying to do? So they have gotten rid of all of this. with a very simple approach saying that, hey, either you can always have your queries which are in thinking mode, which will deep think, will do deep research for you, give detailed analysis, or it will be a fast instant answers. You can select both of these. If you don't select this, then you can of course go ahead with auto mode, where auto mode will itself decide, do I need to go deep thinking or do I need to give an instance answers, right? And if you see, it has started giving the constant data for all these players that have, right, and they have given their batting rating, bowling rating. If you want an instance answer, you can select give me an immediate reply, or if you want it to think about it and research and then come back to it, you can give the long form answer. So that is one of the feature or capability that we want you to explore. In the meanwhile that it codes and it comes out with the logic, and you can also change the code, you can add more players. So it has added Ben Stokes, Tilak Verma, kind of decent list. I'll try to modify this and we'll try to do some vibe coding also so that we can add more players. But let this complete. So this is, let me put it in the presentation mode again, right? This is the first one that we want you to try hands on. Write your basic vanilla prompts, try the prompt optimizer, and again in the prompt optimizer, please select the right model. Optimize for 4.1 or optimize for O3. Optimize your prompt, then go ahead and kind of try this so that your you can create a full-fledged prompt and you're not worrying about missing anything critical, right? We'll also run one more thing where we'll try to create a website for wealth management once this cricket example is done. This is the second one that I was showing you, right? You can select your response type. Do you want a fast response? Do you want it to have a thinking response? Do you want a pro uh, research level, PhD level intelligence? You don't have to select models like this now. Earlier, the drop down in um, GPT-4 was select the model and then operate selectively on that, right? It generally operates in the auto mode. And if you are someone who does not do research and is just on task execution, and if you are creating React agents, which is reasoning and action agents, I would recommend keep it on the fast mode itself so that it can quickly give you the results,
React.
right? So let me come out and let's see if it has created it. Okay, so the code is complete. Let's try to run the code. And this is another good feature, right? They had it for certain extensions. Now they've made it more broader where you can run the code within this environment. And someone was asking what is a simulator, right? This is a simulator where you can select your search player or you can choose from pool. I'll add Virat Kohli, add Shubman Gill, add, and Rahul Tripathi, or let's see, Glenn Maxwell, add Mohammed Shami, add. Well, just randomly add a few folks. 6 over. Add a wicket keeper as well. Let's add this. Let's add some bowlers. Rashid Khan.
Arun, there are some questions whether the simulator is available for a pro version, or is this a
Well, this I have taken like the GPT Pro. It's not GPT Pro. It's GPT Plus that you have, and you would need to pay for. I think Canvas you can build a normal GPT also. You can try that. I have not tried it. I always had the paid version of GPT. So
चलिए
I'll this Ishan Kishan. Let's just add one more Deepak Chahar and Arshdeep Singh. Okay, we have added our 11. Let's finalize the team. This is ready. Okay, so our average rating is average bowler rating is ODI win probability is higher. T20 is also 66%. World Cup winning chances are low, and ODI World Cup chances are also very low. Now, this is kind of done in 2 minutes, right? I'll show you one of my conversation which uh, I built this canvas for evaluating SaaS companies, if you have to invest in SaaS companies, right? Okay, it's a good example. It is having an error. Resolve this error and let us rerun. Optimizer, you don't need to download. You just open the link that I shared for Optimizer and you'll be able to get it. I'll just paste the link again for Optimizer. You don't need to download Optimizer. It's a browser-based tool. You can just open this link. We can try it along the section. I checked it with the simulator and all. Yep. Yep. So I think most of the questions are around the paid version. I think mine is GPT paid. So you will have limited functionalities if you're using the free version. Let's evaluator example. Yeah, I'll share that.
Yeah, I think that's all.
Yeah, most of the questions are around the paid version.
Hmm.
I am hoping you are um, having the paid versions. If you don't have it, then you'll actually not be able to get the entire value out of it. And this is the prompt for SaaS evaluation. You can look at this. I'll also share the video where I got this idea from. It works quite brilliantly. Let's go to the second use case because there are so many that we want to walk through. Probably it will resolve itself by then. This is the next one, right? So one thing that we had in, I'll put this in presentation mode. In GPT-4, we had was you could enable web search by adding this tag here, right? That's no more the case. It is live web browser. I was trying this over the weekend during our Independence Day, and I just asked it, hey, can you tell me what are the latest announcements made by our PM? And it kind of did the immediate web search and it gave me 60 minutes ago, these are the announcements that our PM made, right? So it's always up to date on memory and web search. Let's try to get something immediately and see if it is able to scrape the web recently. Give me top 5 takeaways from the Trump Putin meeting. Let's try to do this. And again, it's doing searching the web. It has taken the top. No deal, no ceasefire, just vibes. Red carpet politics, Putin's PR win, Trump flips script, ditches ceasefire, chases peace, Russia's pressure, Donbass is a deal or else great, and Ukraine is not sidelined, or maybe is it? So this is what it is, and it gives you the sources which are immediate. Like it tells you, okay, this is what I've read from 16th August. Um, this is from 16th August again, 2 hours ago, right? So it is scraping this, and if you wanted to deep think, you can always you don't have those filters or tags which you had earlier, right? You can have the deep research here, but if you see there is no internet here, there is no web search indicator here. They have changed these deep search um, filters as well. Let's see if this is ready. Okay, I think it's still. Let me run the code now. Okay. Yeah, this is running. I'll close the console. So if your ARR, what type of funding are you at? Are you at seed or pre-seed, right? What is your ARR? What is your year-on-year growth? And what is your multiplied? What is your gross margin? Generally, gross margins are 75 to 90%. So that is fine. Net revenue increase, net revenue retention rate, and then monthly churn. You can just play around with all these values and you can see how much valuation does the company have. And you can also have the currencies, right? So I kind of wanted to add another currency and I told it add another currency yen to this because I wanted to look at some Japanese startups and I have added the yen Japanese currencies. I have made the code changes and now you can see yen is also there. So agentic simulators platforms, canvas creation is no more a fancy thing. You just need to know what parameters you need and what values you need, and you can just go ahead and create it, right? I'll just take a pause here if there are yeah, I can share the prompts are you'll also get the recording. You can just okay, yeah, I'll share the prompts. Okay, so that's the third one. Just repeating what we have covered so far. So we have covered optimizer, GPT optimizer. The second one that we have covered is how do you create Canva-based SaaS applications where they are saying software as a solution is immediately available. And third one is immediate web functionalities are available and you don't need to explicitly add your web search uh, tag to it, right? Now, I think the best part, or I kind of love this the most, is the multimodality that they have enabled with GPT-5. And this is where agentic power comes in really, really, really strong, right? Um, First change that you would see, let's actually try to do it. Let me close this. Let's start a new chat. So if I attach files, right? If I attach files, it's not just earlier the context was to 2 to 3 files of similar type. It was difficult for you to add. Let me. So I am. These are some of the mock interviews that I've done. I've done air number of bookings reduced in Airbnb. I am attaching one TXT file, one PDF file, and one podcast WAV MP3 file, right? I can also attach images to it. Let me also try to get an image of Airbnb logo. Let's see this. I want the family logo which is there for them. Yeah, this is the family logo. Let's add it here. So it's as simple as this, copy paste. The context window has increased drastically. Like I tried uploading a 2 to 3 hour video. It was able to consume it. It was able to chunk it and it was able to break it down. I'll show you that. I'm able to add PDFs, I'm able to add text files, I'm able to add Excels, I'm able to add, of course, markdown files, and I'm able to add videos and audios, and I can all summarize all of them. I can just say summarize all of these for me. Focus on the Airbnb logo and create a colorful and vibrant image for me, which I can use as a thumbnail for my YouTube video of the above content. It's still uploading because the file is kind of larger. So it'll take some time. But I kind of did that for another interview. And if you see the result, this is the image that it gave me. The interview question was design a theme park for adults, right? And it kind of gave me this image. Um, the good part, and we'll try to do that here also. Earlier, if you had seen multi-language images in GPT-4, and you can try creating that with GPT-4. If you're creating a same picture in Tamil, Sanskrit, Hindi, and English, the images that were the language generation part, text generation part was great, but text within images was not sleek. It was not complete. They have fixed that. Images with seamless text. These texts support multilinguality, and these are higher quality images, right? So I'll just go here and see if it has uploaded it. Yeah, it has. It's still uploading it. So let me, in the meanwhile, open the previous one. Yeah, this is the YouTube launch image. So this is the launch image. Now let's copy this and say, can you create this for me in Hindi? And you can try different languages also on top of this. I'm just waiting for it to get ready. Poon, Shiksha, but it's still better than what was initially. At least it is able to map the words. Uh, Manoranjan Par case study is not right, but if you see the type of images that came out earlier, and I don't know which else language can I read, but let's try Tamil also. Create this in Tamil. Anyone who can read Tamil can confirm for us. It's significant improvement from what we initially had. At least the words are being broken down, and they are at a place where you can modify them little and still use it. Yesterday, while I was trying to generate it, it was kind of clean, but not perfect. At least in Hindi, it is not. In Indian languages, still there is scope. So, two things that we covered here, right? One, your context is much larger. I'll just go back here. You can add audio, video, text input, all the types of format. It will contextualize this because the context window is much higher. And on top of that, it can run analysis in a more finer detail. One more, the meaning of Airbnb. Okay, so it has created this with the vibrant colors, right? And focus on the content of the transcripts attached so that the interview topic is more focused upon. So let's see what this one is creating Tamil. The next one here is image analysis. Like if you have to look at very minute things, let's just look at ITC stock. Let's look at the 5-year chart. The image analysis and the granularity with which it can read the images, read the above chart and looking at the trend from the last 5 years, which months are showing seasonality where the stock is not performing well or is underpriced. And this is by no means financial content or financial education. This is just us trying to do the analysis, right? May, June, September, November, and early. Too many months. Can you give me a one-line answer telling me which are the top 2 months where the stock is priced the least? These sort of fundamental analysis and going into the detail of image, reading it, analyzing it for you is much more powerful with May and October are the 2 months where ITC stock is typically priced the least. Simple. This analysis you can compare with GPT-4 and GPT-5 and you'll be able to see a significant difference here as well, right? So multimodality is by all means much greater. One very important thing that I want to show you is chunking, and because it takes time to upload the video, let me, yes. So we uploaded a product space file, right? And we asked it, hey, can you transcript this for us? It's a 2-hour file. And if you see, it is also told you that this may take a bit of processing time because it's nearly 2 hours. It almost takes 2 to 3 minutes to upload the file and then 1.5 minutes to think about it. Then, and try this for large files if you have not tried this in GPT already. This is called as chunking. Chunking is every large file. If the model itself does not do it, you can say do chunking of the file and give me a markdown template. This is a downloaded markdown template. Each chunk you can upload and then it will process it individually and finally you can again combine your result. So to process large files, especially those which are in video or audio format, the right way to do it, either for TTS, which is text to script, or text to translation, the best way to do it is chunking. This is another functionality that we want you to try. Create a sample markdown file from here and just ask GPT to process one chunk at a time, right? So with multimodality, one more cool feature is chunking. If you have not already tried it, add it for large videos, add context to it. And then once you have the chunks, once you have converted markdown files, you can cross-reference those markdown files to get more content on top of it. So I think the next set of things which will come out with this chunking that they have already done, this one, is they'll start coming out with Notebook LLM kind of podcast or summary videos that Notebook LLM has already done, where your 2 hours video can be created into a short form summary video, and you will be able to revise it quickly rather than going through the entire 2 hours. So that is also something that we are trying to build in our capstone projects at Product Space. So you can try to do that. Like once you upload a large file, process GPT-5 on that, create chunks, convert them to markdown files, and then those markdown files can be used to create a summary video of it. So a really good use case for learners, as was requested in the chat. But yeah, so we have looked at optimizer, we have looked at canvas based software creation, we have looked at multimodality of images, we have looked at immediate web search, which is available, we have looked at this functionality of instant search versus deep thinking research, right? Now let's go ahead and look at the next set of workflows, or the important ones. We have also looked at chunking and how you can break down large files and create markdowns of that. Custom GPT. There are a lot of good things that have come out with custom GPT. We have done sessions in the past where we have helped you create custom GPT. So if I have to customize my GPT saying that, hey, I'm a product management interview guide, I help people prepare with product management interviews, what are the traits that GPT should have? One thing that you see here, which is changing, is you can add, let me zoom this in a bit, maybe this will be too small for folks. Yeah. So if you see, there is tonality that you can add, right? So this is your fine tuning instruction that you've given to your custom GPT. If I just say you have to be straight shooting, or you have to add the Gen Z lingo, you can just click here and it will augment your talk like a member of Gen Z. So now your GPT will talk like a Gen Z, right? So these are tone types that they have enabled with custom GPT. This is one new workflow. I'll just show you again how to go about it, right? You go to this, you create your custom GPT, and then in your customized GPT, you can just add this here. This is Gen Z, right? And you can add this. How do you want it to talk, or what is your tonality style? This is still okay. I like this personality type. So there are 4 types of personality depending on what type of role you are in. If you are in a exploratory research role, you can have this nerdy outlook. So it is exploratory and enthusiastic, right? And it will always try to give you a long form data which is researched well. Or you can have a very, if you are execution focused, who is using GPT for their day-to-day tasks, just getting tasks done, use the robotic mode so that you get immediate and efficient responses. If you are someone like me who just wants to have fun with GPT, use this cynic mode, which is critical and sarcastic. And once you have this, just save it in your preferences. The next chat that you have, are you using the cynic mode? Yes, you are essentially talking to customer support agent who's been cursed with a philosophy degree. I answer your questions, but I also point out how ridiculous human schemes and habits can be while I do it. Thinking of it as half helpful, half eye rolling commentary track. I don't believe you still. Prove it to me. Prove it. What am I? Your sarcastic circus monkey doing tricks on demand? Fine. So you can try these. That's enough proof, or do you want me to juggle 3 cliches and a dad joke too? A dad joke would help you cynic. All right, here's your dad joke. Dripping with the kind of force cheer humans call humor. Wow. That's some pushback, but that's okay. You can try it on your side. I don't want it to humiliate me anymore, so I'll probably revert back to the normal settings. Um, I'll just go customize GPT, and this is where you can select the mode, right? So that's the next workflow where I'll just put this in the presentation mode. This is cynical. Uh, its personality is like a grumpy librarian babysitting your curiosity, and you can select the mode and you can select the tonality of these. One more really cool thing that you should try on your hands-on device. I kind of cannot do it on laptop, but the audio inputs that you give to ChatGPT and the tones that or the voice that you can customize. Now you can customize your own voice on GPT, and the answers that it will give you, it feels like talking to yourself. So you can customize that voice and say, hey, follow along the voice that I use in my questions and try to replicate that. And then that's fantastic in terms of TTS, which is text to script. Now the most important one, right? Coder's paradise, and where lovable replit cursor are thinking मेरे को तो ऐसा तक तक हो रहा है बाबा ये क्या कर रहा है. So the code quality is really good, right? It's really good. I already showed you the Mario game, right? If you use optimizer and if you try to create some end-to-end applications, I think it does a really good job in executing it. One drawback or one issue, at least at this point of time, that is there is for you to run these applications, you will still need an IDE or an compiler, because it just gives you the code. When you have to actually run that code, you have to go to a different compiler. So this was the coder's paradise that I was talking to you about, right? Create a Mario game and it gave me this. Let's try to actually create an application, end-to-end application with the code that we started off with, which was this. Help me create a wealth management website, right? So I'll again go to the optimizer. Uh, I'll You can save these chats. I'll just refresh this. Optimize for GPT-5. This is my uh, prompt. Now I'll ask it to optimize. Okay, I think I should have given it instructions for HTML, CSS, and JS based application. But let's see what it kind of creates so that. Okay. So it has given the role, objective, instruction, execution, context, planning, output format. Okay, let me copy this and let's try to create a new chat. Run this. And you wanted this in the chat, right? So I'll also paste the prompt in the chat. It will take time to come up with this entire TypeScript interfaces, the entire outline. Let's see what it creates in the meanwhile and try to cover the next bit. Okay, I had seen one question. So agentic, see the idea of running or building standalone agents versus having agentic applications do tasks for you versus what is agentic AI and agent based workflows has to be very clear to you. A lot of these things that we are doing is in the agentic mode, and you can, let's try to, let me go to that and I'll show you that also. So while we build this website, right, why the code is really good and how you can export it and run it on the compiler. I've already talked about large context length. There is so much content that it can surface and it can provide. You can give your entire repositories and it will be able to do compilation for you. This is the agentic workflow, right? If I want to do an analysis of should I be able to create this website or no, I've given the normal ChatGPT which will write me code. Now let's run this same thing with the agentic mode. Let me create a new chat. And if you have to run things in agentic mode, I think you all know this is the one that you need to enable, where you enable the agentic mode, just showing it again. Agentic mode, right? And then which are the tools that you are giving access to, right? So I'm giving access to my Canvas and I'm giving access to my Google Drive. And I'll just give it here. Now it will run a desktop client or an agent of itself, which will execute this entire task. And okay, so this sounds like a comprehensive project. To make sure that I build the exact things, you need to clarify a few details. Do you have a preferred technology stack? Yeah, we can use Node, JS, and which deployment environment? Azure would be the hyperscaler. And do you have any specific user interface? Um, Keep the designs compliant to Gen Z preferences. It's just setting up the agentic environment and you can run these applications. Got it. We'll build an application using Node.js, deploy it on Azure, design it in a Gen Z user-friendly aesthetic. Now it is thinking and it will come up with its agentic view of creating it. You'll see the agentic screen running in this. It's standing up its virtual environment where it will do all this coding. So its virtual environment has set up. Now this is the virtual environment, which is, if you see ChatGPT agent is running here. These are the files that, and it is showing you the instructions that it is following, right? You can look at the activity or you can take over the browser. You can stop it and you can yourself go ahead and make changes. You can see the activity log. These are the activities which are happening one by one, right? Any place where you think, so it has installed the node, it has created the directory, make directory, it has created the web app, and then and it is telling you exactly, it is initializing npm. This is your agent running for you, right? Those who are having questions around agentic, let's look the desktop view. Sorry. So if you were doing all this on a desktop on a virtual machine, how would it look like? This is how it would look like. So this is the ChatGPT agent which is running for you. It is comparing it. Let's see where our code is. This. It has given you the code for fire calculator, for provident fund calculator, for mutual funds, front end architecture, TypeScript, React, and Tailwind. It has taken care of security, testing, rollout, milestone conclusion. Okay, these are the open questions that it wants me to answer. How would you import the data? Good question. Let's say I would import from a manual CSV. We can hit the Mutual Fund Association of India, or let's say SEBI available open APIs. Let's assume PF is fixed at 7.5%. Currency is INR only. English is the starting language. Design system, any brand kit or toolkit for the mobile app. Nothing for now. Keep it compatible with Android and custom OS. Okay, let's see. I'll close this window. So this is your agent doing the same thing, and this is you are doing the same task manually via normal GPT-5 without the agentic mode. If you see all individual answers, the code compilation running is up to you. Here, if you see in the agentic framework, it is on the terminal, it is doing everything on its own. And wherever it is stuck, it will probably ask you questions. So it is saying, see, preparing Azure development environment. Localhost is blocked, so it will enable that. Yep. It has logged into portal.azure. Delivering app instructions and the file. Let's see where our manual friend is. Okay, so it is finalized the API contracts, defining the data model, test plan additions. Ship a repo skeleton with CSV templates, validators, AMI fetchers, and cache. The AMFI, it has already identified Association of Mutual Fund Associations in India. It will get this number from there. Import endpoints and end-to-end harness. React upload center, where you can use React to upload your files, right? Mutual fund holdings. Yes, have the CSV templates embedded in the app itself. Good to go with the above specs. Now, those of you who have comfort with GitHub Copilot, whatever I'm doing here manually is the GitHub Copilot ask mode. Whatever is happening here is the GitHub Copilot agent mode, right? Now it is requesting me for your replace your app name with a globally unique name and adjust the location for your needs. Please let me know once you have uploaded the zip to Azure. It's ready. You can go ahead, download it and upload it to your Azure, and you can run the local server for running your application, right? Your entire code is available in this webapp.zip file. You can just run it. So this is your entire agentic workflow that it has run. Rather than me sharing and running this, let me actually ask it to, can you try to run this app once in the agent mode so that I can see how it works. So this is the repos, this is the CSV template, this is the backend logic, these are the test cases. These are the final instructions. You can run this, you can create your apps folder, echo this in your local environment, you can run this in your local host, and that is where this will stop. It will not run the application for you. You have to, this is one of the limitations where Lovable Cursor are better. They can run the application and they can deploy it for you because it's browser based. If there's a desktop based version where it can run it, the end-to-end life cycle gets complete, but you can get that mitigated by running this in the agent mode. Due to browser security constraints, it can't be directly accessed by localhost. Instead, I captured and rendered HTML and displayed it as a local file so that you can have a look and feel. See what it did. Yeah, it is not running the application. It is saying that I can. I'll show you one more. So this was another agentic thing that I had run. Let's try to. So if I'm trying to launch a new business in tier 2, tier 3 cities where I want to launch apparels, if I run in the agentic mode and I wanted to create a Tam Sam Som slide for me, right? There are more connectors which are available for your tools to work. So when we were launching in the agentic mode, you saw these are all these tools, right? So if you go to your GPT, right, if you look at this and if you look at your settings, in your connectors, you have a lot of new connectors like Outlook, Teams, Outlook email, Google Drive, Gmail, Canvas. What essentially this means is it will be able to look at your Gmail and tell you how your schedule looks like for the entire day, right? And it will also set up a meeting for you. It will send out an invite. It can. The problem still is human remains in control. They will. I'll show you this. Let me send a meeting. Yeah. So when I run this, set up a meeting with Arun Nandewal for Tuesday evening, it would set up this. It would give you a calendar invite that you need to manually add it to your calendar. So it keeps human in the loop, and human is the one which makes the eventual decisions, right? It will not directly go and take the agentic framework react, which is reasoning and action. Reasoning it will do for you. Action is still at the human level. Same if you look at our app, the entire app is created, reasoning is done, the code is runnable and deployable, but the action is still with the human to take. It will not be able to deploy and run your local host by itself, right? So this one is working on creating the deck in the agent mode. That was one thing that I wanted to show you. So you can, again, just quickly showing, you can go to your settings, you can go to your connectors, and you can enable all of these for your agent mode to work. You can also enable your Notion and SharePoint if you have that. One more thing that we wanted to show you quickly was this idea of generally when we chat and when we create a new chat, right? If I create a new chat, the context of all the previous chats till GPT-4 was being lost. It was keeping the context of only that particular chat that you were part of. There is this another functionality or setting that you can enable now. If you go to your personalization, in personalization, there are these two reference saved memories and reference chat history. So if you enable reference chat history, or if you disable it, if you enable this, all the memories that you or all the context that you have provided to ChatGPT across your chats would be saved. And this is for same for memory. If you disable this, all your chats would be autonomous and they will have no context between each other. So this is a fantastic feature, right? Especially for those who work on the same thing and the same projects for long run and you just create different chats. I generally keep it off because my tasks are different every time, right? So depending on how you use your GPT, you can enable or disable these settings if you want to keep context between chats, or if you don't want it, you can just disable it and keep it, right? Uh, let's create CSS, HTML and JS application, or I'm just trying two things. One, I'm not giving it any context, not a detailed prompt, just a one-liner prompt to see how it would create a game, how it would write the code. And then let me, I have this long short prompt which I can run. Let's see what comes out of these two. Okay, so it has this agentic mode that we had run. We had asked it, I'm looking to do research about market potential of tier 2, tier 3 cities, fast fashion. I am a product manager at Swiggy and we are planning to launch quick delivery of fast fashion apparel in tier 2, tier 3 cities. I'm expected to come up with a 6-month roadmap of TAM, SAM, SOM, right? And example, I want to sell white sneakers for 10 million demand. What is the growth rate? And what is the 1 month, 2 month roadmap? Right? You are an expert from large consulting company which has expertise in market penetration for e-commerce companies. I want you to output in 5 bullet points top product recommendations in a table similar to the given above. Your tone should be professional for leadership review. Now it is looking at all the data. It's looking at India athleisure market. It is looking at Bain's reports. and this agent is doing all the tasks for you. You have just given it the task and you've gone away. It will come up with a slide and give you back the answer. So this is creating the Klondike solitaire game. Play in your browser, and let's see what Pac-Man is doing. Yeah, Pac-Man is also trying to create it within the browser so that we can play it here. I think the wealth management one did not work. Can we create this application so that I can run it within this browser and see the preview in the chat. Let's see if it is able to do this for us. So while these get completed, kind of quick review of whatever we have done, right? So first one is, you can, again, just showing you back, you can select your auto, fast and thinking mode. Anything where you want to do deep research, at the end you can just type do deep thinking on this. With this prompt, it will do deep thinking for you. That's the first one that we covered. Then we had covered the optimizer. You can use optimizer to refine your prompts. Third thing that we covered was, within this you can have your agent mode, deep research mode, and you can use your connectors. For connectors, if you go to the settings, you can enable all your connectors from here. You can also schedule your um, meetings or schedule your tasks. If you schedule a task, you can see what all tasks you have scheduled here. This is from GPT 3 and 4, so nothing new. Personalization, you can have your chat history and chat history across tasks that you can try to edit. One more thing that we showed was with custom GPT, you can either have the tonality of any of these, plus the interesting one where you can make GPT have a personality of its own, either a robot, listener, nerd, or cynic. Then we also covered chunking, where you can break down large files and try to convert them into lower ones. We covered quick web access, where it is able to access real-time web data. You don't need to say go and look at the internet. It is always by default looking at the web browser. And then we covered a lot of uh, good things about multimodality, where you can ask it to create a image, you can ask process audio, video, text sort of files. Let's see what it did with the Airbnb logo. Create an image. Okay, so Solitaire it has created with one single line of code. Let's run the code and see if it is able to run it. Great. So this has made a solitaire game. I can just 675A 10. You can play your solitaire game here without even prompt. You could not able to drag these cards. This is able to click face up card and select. Okay. Okay. So this is, you have to double click on the top card to send to the foundation. Click stock to click empty stock to recycle list. Okay. New draw. This is draw. Can't place it anywhere. A can't place it anywhere. And yeah, this can go here. Okay, well, can't play it. I think I will need to can't play this with clicks and drag. Can you please enable that? Let's see if it is able to do it. Pac-Man, I think it's still writing the code. It has written the code. Let's run it. Okay. Press start or space. Okay. So this is our Pac-Man, but our ghosts are not moving. Ghosts are stuck, and this is, I think the ghosts are not moving in this. So let's try to ask it. You have 3 lives, you have score. Let's reset it. Yeah, I think the ghosts are not moving in the grid. Make them move autonomously. Let's see if it is able to course correct that. Both of them are making changes. Okay. So it is updating this. Let's see if it is. Okay, it is editing. It is not yet done. Right. Yeah, now it has made a decent image. Airbnb booking decline, PM interview breakdown. It has included all the family, Airbnb family logo. So yeah, I think that is um, it from the session. I'll stop presenting. I'll share the wealth management app. I'll run it locally and I can share it as part of the recording. We can attach that and we'll see how that goes. But I hope you were able to find some good things here today and you got some value out of it.
Awesome. Thanks, Arun. Thanks for that amazing session. Folks, we will share the recordings, the prompts via your email. So please look out for the email that we send out next week, right? Awesome. Thanks, Arun. Any final thoughts for folks who are trying out AI tools and different
Yeah, I
things?
think just keep experimenting and keep looking out for good examples. Like we will share some videos with you as part of this deck. It's there at the end. If you just watch these videos and if you just try hands-on, these are some really great use cases. And keep experimenting with it. There is infinite potential. We are also still covering. When we come back for the second half or the second part of this session, we'll give you more examples of what is the actual power of this. We were able to show some of it today, and I hope you'll be able to get much more in the coming sessions as well.